How do you solve an unorganized quadratic equation? You move all terms to one side of the equation, like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And then solve the equation using the quadratic formula. Let's look at an example. Say you have the equation x squared equals minus x plus 6. Start by getting all the terms over to the left-hand side. That way, the right-hand side will be equal to 0. You can do this by using the change sides, change sign rule. You move minus x plus 6 over to the left-hand side. Remember to change signs when you change sides, like this. You get x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. You now have your quadratic equation in the correct form. So it's time to determine the coefficients a, b, and c. The coefficient a is 1 because there's no number in front of x squared. The coefficient b is 1 because plus x is the same as plus 1 times x. The constant c equals minus 6. Now let's solve the equation. Always start by writing down the quadratic formula. Now you can insert the coefficients. Remember to use parentheses around negative coefficients. That gives you the following. X equals minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 6. All of that goes over 2 times 1. You may notice that the first term needs no work. Then you can move on to calculate the discriminant term by term. That means you calculate the expression under the square root. 1 squared is 1. Next, minus 4 times 1 times minus 6 is 24. This gives you 1 plus 24 under the square root. In the denominator, you have 2 times 1, which is 2. From here, you continue to work under the root. 1 plus 24 equals 25. So you now have the square root of 25. You continue to work with the square root until there is nothing more to do. In this case, calculating the square root of 25, which is 5. Again, what to do with the plus or minus situation? Easy. Just like before, you separate the equation into two, like this. x1 equals minus 1 plus 5 divided by 2. And x2 equals minus 1 minus 5 divided by 2. Again, we use subscripts in math, among other things, to give solutions unique names. From here, it's just finishing up the calculations. x1 equals minus 1 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4 divided by 2, or 2. And x2 equals minus 1 minus 5 divided by 2, or minus 6 divided by 2, which equals minus 3. There you go! The solutions for x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0 are x1 equals 2 and x2 equals minus 3. You should always verify your solutions. You do this by inserting your answers into the left-hand and right-hand sides of the equation, then checking that both sides are equal. In this case, x1 equals 2 inserted into the left-hand side gives you 2 squared, which is 4. The right-hand side yields minus 2 plus 6, which is also 4. The left-hand side equals the right-hand side, so 2 is a correct answer. Now let's check x2 equals minus 3. Inserted into the left-hand side, you get minus 3 squared, which is 9. On the right-hand side is minus negative 3 plus 6, which is 9. The left-hand side equals the right-hand side, so minus 3 is also a correct answer. To solve an unorganized quadratic equation, you move all its terms to one side, like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And then solve the equation using the quadratic formula.